In this two-part detailed video series, I will be showing you how to remove the lower control arm on a Chrysler 300 or Dodge Charger, and it may be similar to other vehicles that are specifically all-wheel drive only. All these tools will be in the description below, as well as the second part of this video, which is on installing the lower control arm, the torque recommendations, and some other helpful tips when installing. In this video, you will see all the problems you may have when removing the control arm. Hopefully, yours will be easier to do, but I want you to see and decide if this is a project you want to work on. So before we start, please subscribe and then get ready to save money and do it yourself. You will need about almost 30 tools. I will go over them very quickly. You'll need a jack stands, bottle jack, chain. You might use that, you might not. Block of wood for leverage or to put on the bottle jack just to give you some more space when trying to lift components of the vehicle. Of course, safety equipment, eyeglasses, that's a face mask, light, knee pads, gloves. Now on to the main tools you'll be using. You need a breaker bar ratchet, a 7/8 wrench or 21mm wrench preferably, 18mm short and deep, very important, as well as you'll need two 21mm sockets as well. These smaller ratchets, you'll need an 8mm deep and with an extension, as well as another one with an 8mm short. And this is actually just for the heat shields. Now, when removing the ball joint, if you have any difficulties, you might need a pry bar, a couple sizes, good hammer, specifically a sledgehammer. Regular hammer will not work. Penetrating oil to loosen the rest, of course. Again, you also might need a torch. Hopefully you won't need this, but it's just there. A pickle fork. I have two different sizes. Again, you might not need this, but you might, and a flat doesn't hurt. And then obviously when installing, you'll need a torque wrench that can go up to 130 foot-pounds. Let's get started. This is the lower control arm. These are the bolts that hold the lower control arm. This is a one piece on an all-wheel drive. The other Chrysler or Dodge cars might have a single piece, but this is specifically for the all-wheel drive. It's just how they manufactured it. Some penetrating oil on right here. This here is the steering gear, and I need to loosen, because I'm doing the driver's side lower control arm, I'm going to take this off and the bolt underneath here off, and I'm going to loosen this one. If you were taking off the passenger side, then you would take off the bolt here and right underneath here, and then loosen that one. Making sure there is a jack or bottle jack on here. First, I gotta remove that bolt right there, and a little hard to see it, but right where my other finger is, there's another bolt right there. Go ahead and loosen the 8mm bolt with a ratchet and an extension. Okay. Now, my heat shield is not that good. Pretty much just held on very loosely. But I'll just show you. You don't have a lot of space right here to get the top bolt off. And I'm using a smaller ratchet, as you can see. You'll probably want to use like an extension with this. And then you can just easily get that other bolt off. Steering gear. We're going to do this one first, and then I'll remove this one. And I put a 19mm socket on here. 18mm would be preferred, but I only have one other 18mm. And I'm going to use that 18mm on here. Grab a breaker bar and an 18mm socket. Once you free loose with the breaker bar, you can switch to a smaller ratchet, just for ease. So as you can see here, it's still spinning, even when I put a wrench on it, and it's just very rusted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more penetrating oil on here, just so I can really get this out a little bit easier. The penetrating oil worked, and I didn't have to heat it up, luckily. So again, to show you, I put a 18mm wrench on the other side, and another 18mm on this side. turned it, and now it looks like I can probably loosen it with my fingers. Yep, there we go. I hate old rusty cars. Now that this one is removed, we're going to remove this one. This side, right there, does not have a bolt. That's normal. So go ahead and put a breaker bar and 18mm socket on here. Now switch to a smaller ratchet and same 18mm socket. Yep. Now it's time to loosen this one with 18mm and a breaker bar. But just to show you now, I took my bottle jack. You can use a regular jack stand, and I put it just underneath the steering gear, just to learn it a little bit, as you can see, because I want this to rest on here, or the end result is just so this can be pulled lower, so I can get to the bolt right there. Now that I loosen it, I'm grabbing this and just pulling it down a little bit. I'm checking to see if I can get to the bolt with ease. This now. Keep this bottle jack under here just to be safe, or a jack. Now that it's loosened, you can pull this a little bit. Now, look at that. Now I can get to that. Okay, just pull my bottle jack out, but I replaced it with a jack, just to keep the weight on the steering gear. Okay, I'm trying to remove this. So I have my 18mm with a breaker bar on here. Notice it's not a deep socket, it's a short. And then on the other side, you could either use a 21mm wrench or a 7/8. A helpful tip is, because it's harder to just break it loose from down here, I decided to go up here, and you can break it loose from, from up here, and it's a lot easier to loosen it that way, just to start it off. And then from there you can switch to a smaller ratchet. Okay, yes, definitely tighter. But it's coming off. Yep, almost got it off. Okay, should I just screw this off now? Yeah, I'm down, as you can see, but a pry bar should be able to just get enough grip on it to pull it out. Let's see. There we go. Okay, now that I've got two hands, let's use a pry bar. Pick up the lower control arm a little bit. It should make it easier to pull this out. I'm just going to lift up the lower control arm a little bit. That way I'll be able to slip this on with much ease. I'm using a bottle jack. Yep, there we go, see? See, that's the bottle jack I just used. Now you can lower this, of course. Now I'm going to work on this side. Same thing, either use a 21mm wrench or 7/8. And then the other side, 18mm socket with a breaker bar. Now I was going to just push this from here, but if you can't, make sure it's on real tight, use your foot. There we go. Just get it started, right? Now, of course, if you have a power drill, use that. But for those who don't have it, there's always a way to do something else. Just be creative sometimes. Switch to a smaller ratchet. And just unscrew it. Let's see. See, let's go from this side. Oop, see, that just went down. Alright, let's pull this out. And coming out with these again. So I'm just gonna bottle jack up this again, relieving the pressure, and then just pull that straight out. Go on. Okay, right here, you're gonna put a 21mm socket or breaker bar on here. And surprisingly, this side is also a 21mm, so you can either put a wrench, or I have another socket ratchet I'm going to use. And go ahead and push that. Very good. Switch to a smaller ratchet. Or you might even be able to turn it by hand now. Just loosen it. Once you take that screw off, I put my bottle jack right underneath the lower control arm. And I'm going to see if I can just pump it up a little just to get it a little even. Now you can take a hammer or a puncher and just slowly loosen that a little bit. Just putting my hammer here, tapping it, and with my other hand, I'm just unscrewing the screw. Or just grab a 21mm wrench or 7/8 sockets. In fact, make sure you use that, otherwise you will get your socket and ratchet stuck right here because of the tie rod end. Okay. When trying to get this out, just push this down a little bit. And the reason why is that it just clears this tie rod end. And then you also might, let's see if I can get it now. Okay, I think I almost got it. You could just whack this too, put like a wrench on here, and then just whack it with a hammer. I think I'll do that and I'll be able to get it out. But again, also push this down as much as you can. You'll see. And then that way you don't have to remove the tie rod end. I also took my hands, pushed this together, and pulled the screws straight out. Another helpful tip. Now I'll work on the harder part, which is popping up the ball joint. I'm going to do this now, so grab a 21mm socket and a breaker bar, and then just... Okay, good. Grab a smaller ratchet, start loosening it. I'm just going to loosen it up and take it off. Now, it's time to finally remove them all. As you can see right here, you could potentially use a pickle fork. Let's see. And get it up. A little harder for me. Put this puller tool on here, and I just hammered this in here, and because of the position I might be able to get a ratchet on here, and I'm not gonna, let's see. There's also a little circle right here that's to identify that you can take a hammer and start hitting that here. The purpose is to obviously get the stud to go up. It up. I'm just going to put my bottle jack on there, keep pumping it, and see if I can get the stud to come up a little bit. Okay, I tried a lot. Now I'm going to try something different. Jack stand, piece of wood, pushing up the rotor, with the chain. Chain is underneath the jack, and it's right there above. So I'm hoping to essentially pull this down, push this up, ultimately breaking that loose. Let's see if it works. Okay, I finally got it out, and definitely not easy to do. You can see it's right there. So I did pretty much what got it was just taking my sledge And I just kept hammering it as hard as I could, and it finally came out. So I pretty much tried several methods to get this out. So to say what the best way is, it's really a matter of opinion, and what works for you might work differently for someone else. All the different methods I used, and maybe it was a combination of the methods I used that allowed this stud to come out from the ball joint. Okay. One thing I forgot to mention is, if this stud right here is anywhere in here, you can't get it out. All I had to do was literally release the tension on my jack and just push this down a little bit. Once you do that, it's not in here anymore, which is the point. We want to make sure that this does not even have a chance of hitting this right here, because we got to pull that out. And if it's going to go to the right, we don't want it to hit the back of the rotor pretty much. So grab your bottom and jack it up. That's more than enough space. See that? Now when this comes out, it shouldn't hit anything. See? Straight shot. Okay. That one's coming out pretty well. Yep, good. See? That space right there? Up and down. There we go. That's one. Okay. So, could use a pry bar, but first I'm gonna go on the side right here. And it looks like there's some space. So I'm just gonna put a flat tip in right there. Let's see if I can push it out. Oh, that's coming out. There we go. Oh yeah, it's coming out. Let's see if I can pull it out now. You could also like hammer right there on the side if you want to try that. I'm doing this with one hand, so if I had, because I'm holding the camera, but probably get it out easier with two hands, but let's see what I can do with one hand. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so this is my new control arm. This is my old one. You can see some cracks forming right here. Obviously it's rusted. This is the original one. It's never been replaced. But what you can see is, this is probably caused for me when I use the pickle fork, but a lot of play in that. A lot of play. Whereas this one, I can't even really move this. So, this is what was causing that creak-like sound, spring mattress. So now, I'm going to install this one. That's all there is to changing the lower control arm on an all-wheel drive. Just to provide some quick tips here, there are a total of 6 bolts you're going to remove. One of them you'll just loosen, and then of course there's the heat shield. Taking off all the bolts were pretty easy, not that hard. The hardest part, of course, was this right there, the ball joint. For me, it was just very rusted, and I had to just hammer it from the bottom until it finally popped out and came loose. This was not the easiest repair to do, but I'm definitely glad I did it myself. If you found this video to be helpful, please check out some of my other helpful videos where I show you the problems you might have when working on your car. The videos I show usually are detailed. And you can watch the second part of this video, which is me installing the lower control arm and torquing it to the right specs. I'll leave it in the description below. Thanks for watching part 1 of this detailed video. Please subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video. Also let others know in the comment section below if this is a project worth doing yourself. Thank you.